Hello YouTube. Uh, this is my first video, so please forgive the bad camera quality and the fact that it shakes and all that. But I've had this channel for like 4 years, but I've never really known what to do with it. Um, and over the past year, I've been really interested in Magic. So I want to show you guys one of my favorite decks. It's the first deck I ever got, and over the past year, I have done many things to improve it. And I know that there's a gigantic love for Magic on YouTube. So anyone who sees this, if you're part of the Magic community, um, uh, please leave me a note on whether or not you think I can make this better and how and what cards to use. So this is the Planeswalker. I am aware that this is the weakest version of Jace, but like I said, the first deck I ever got had him in it, and I really like him. I really love using him as a draw engine, but there's also one combination in here that I really love to use the second ability with. His third ability I really like for just gaining control, because obviously that's a really good perk. So there's Jace. Hang on, camera's focusing. This is a Merfolk tribal deck. Obviously, you can tell the colors that I'm running. I like her. He's really good for 1/1 counters and buffing up my other Merfolk. I'm running some. I have two naturalizes in here, I believe. Just for some artifact and enchantment hate. Sylvan Scrying for lands, obviously. Hang on. Castaways Despair to have that control aspect. Obviously, you're going to need Grasping Current to get him whenever you want. Mind Static for counterspelling, and I really love this counterspell because you pay 4 and opponent would have to pay 6 to counterspell. Now, if they're running a big mana ramp deck, then they're not going to have an issue paying that 6. But in most cases, it really does me good. This is the creature that I love using Jace's second ability with, because I can just, pay 5, put her out. If I have like 5 or 6 creatures on the field, I can tap them all. I can gain 12 life and then use the second ability to immediately untap them so I don't leave myself wide open. Another counter spell. I do not have any artifacts in this deck. I just have it because it is a counter spell. Obviously, I'm running some lands. Shaper's Apprentice. Just because if I'm not having my control, flying is something that's really hard to defend against. Now, I'm running this because it's really good. I always wait till I have the 6 mana I would need to cast this. I always do take first. I remove it from the least buffed creature that I have, and then give it 3. So like, let's say I have something that has 2 on it, and I want to, give it 3, but I also want that card draw. Take two 1/1s off, take those 2 off of it, draw 2 cards from it, and then just put 3. It's really good, in my opinion. This for giving my creatures a big buff. Pin to the Earth for keeping a really big creature on block in terms of its power. Deeproot Warrior. Mistcloak Herald. One of the reasons why I love blue is these creatures that can't be blocked. And this is the guy that's not my Planeswalker that this deck is built around. You've seen a couple of things in the deck that involve 1/1 counters. He's where those 1/1 counters really come in handy, cause if I have 1/1 counters on all my creatures, I can swing, and my opponent can't do anything about the damage unless they have a prevent on damage. Fleet Swallower, most expensive card in the deck, but he pays off. If you're whenever I use him, I swing, make them mill, or if I'm running a group game, I'll attack one player and make the other one mill. Usually I attack the one who's the least threat so I don't lose my fleet swallower, and then aim at the biggest threat to mill their deck. Ice Cage. Ice Cage is really good for keeping them on lock, but also once Jace is at 9 and I get his last ability, I can target the creature that has Ice Cage on it. Ice Cage will then break, and I will get their creature that they so loved. Countervailing Winds is really good to use later on in the game. Again, another thing against mana. Hang on, sorry, I didn't do that. Shapers of Nature, again, counter distribution, and if I need to start drawing cards, I can take them off. Life Goes On, really good in either a group or 1v1, because, I mean, who doesn't like life gain? Again, sorry, I didn't shuffle this. Well, obviously I shuffled. I didn't, organize everything to where you guys would only see the cards that I'm running. Civic Keyrune. I lied earlier. I have one artifact. This, I don't really use the second ability. I only use it for that extra mana. Again, sorry. Imaginary Threats. I like this card because I can force my opponent to attack, and if they choose me, hopefully I live, they're wide open. They're wide open for my next turn, and then on their next turn, they have no choice but to leave themselves open again. Riverheld's Boon, obviously because the Merfolk Tribe will have 1/1 counters. Another Grasping Current. Sorry guys. Primal Druid, just because, mana. Claustrophobia, again, for control. Jace's Sentinel, again, it can't be blocked, but that's only if I I believe 4 or 3 Herald's Secret streams. Illusory Wrappings, it's really good, but I also like it to be a really big butthole to someone. Because if they have a creature that it's a 10/10, like if someone's running an Ulamog against you, or a just really big Eldrazi's, or if someone's running Emrakul, it doesn't target. Therefore, Emrakul's not protected against it. So Emrakul will go from a 15/15 to a measly 0/2. Vine Shaper Mystic for the 1/1 counter distribution. This is one of my win conditions in the deck. Is just putting her out can guarantee that my opponent will be wide open for me and I can attack them with no problem. Donna's Climb, really good enchantment in my opinion. I usually put this out, once something already has 2 on it, that way I can immediately put it on counter on something and then transform it. Its Transform, I really love the last ability because, like, if I use it in combination with my Fleet Swallower, I can make it into a 12/12 with flying, and just, I love Hidana's Climb. Another Fleet Swallower, which I only have 2. Inspiring Call, again, for